My name is Michelle King, and my co-managers are Ardell Johnson and Danny Corbin. We are Team D, Fancy Feet. Fancy Feet is a shoe company dedicated to producing a wide range of available models in moderate quality range to appeal to a range of customer needs. We consistently offer a quality shoe that is affordable and readily available in a variety of models and styles. Our motto is 2 pairs under every bed. Initially, our strategy for branded footwear was to have a high quality product at a high price. This proved to be a quickly developing, very competitive market, however. In year 14, we switched our strategy to a lower cost, moderate value shoe, offering many more models at a reasonable price. We sought out celebrities that were influential in Latin America, as that was our strongest market. We were able to differentiate ourselves from the majority of our competitors from that point on and maintain that market share. Initially, our competitive strategy for private label footwear was to attempt to compete in that market with our premium footwear, but we were quickly underbid by lower quality, lower cost shoes with similar SQ ratings. As that market continued to remain competitive after we decreased our prices and increased our model numbers, we didn't attempt to compete in that market in any big way, instead focusing on retailer wholesale support and internet branded sales. Our lower SQ rating negated our efforts in this private label market for the most part. And now I will pass off to my co-manager Danny to continue with this presentation.
Annual gross revenues. As Michelle noted, we changed our strategy in year 13 to capture the low SQ rating, high model market. Consequently, year 13, the first year of the strategy change, experienced a drop in annual gross revenues by 5%. However, in years 14 through 17, we were able to focus our strategy by increasing retailer support and marketing expenses, running the North America and Asia Pacific facilities at high capacity while trying to minimize stockouts, and competing in private label markets where low supply, high demand, and optimal operating margins were achievable. By fine-tuning our strategy from year 14 to year 17, we were able to increase our annual revenues by 19%, 21%, 1%, and 12% respectively. Earnings per share. Our EPS was one of our stronger points throughout the game. We managed to deliver above industry average and beat investors' expectations year after year, despite a change in strategy in year 13. Minus a slight setback when we refocused our strategy, we managed to grow our overall EPS 130%. We maintained a strong EPS by buying back stock with excess cash, running lean operating costs, and maintaining a favorable wholesale and private label pricing strategy. Global market share. Our company remained fairly consistent in the market share arena. We competed with the top teams in the internet segment each year, which helped our overall position in the market. Our wholesale market share ranged anywhere from 6% to 14% each year within the different regions. Although we didn't make any major moves to go after a specific region in the branded market, we didn't give up much market share either. Our private label contributions fluctuated the most depending on the demand and supply in each region, as well as the cost and operating margins forecasted. In the later years, we chose to drop the private label market in North America and Asia Pacific as margins were low. This took us out of the running for bids and affected our overall market share. Stock price trends. Our stock price followed a very similar path to our EPS, where we consistently beat industry average and investor expectations, but did suffer a bit of a loss when we changed strategies. Similar to EPS, stock price was one of our stronger measurements. Although we weren't best in industry, we typically competed with the top teams each year. Buying back company stock with excess cash was the leading driver that grew our stock price by 113% from year 11 to year 17.
Strategic planning. For the 3-year strategy plan, our goal was to exceed investor expectations but be conservative, with a 20% annual increase in each category. While we were able to consistently meet investor expectations, we were never able to achieve best in industry in any segment other than credit rating. Throughout the game, we struggled with image rating due to lack of awareness that SQ rating was a key driver, as well as having celebrity endorsements consistently throughout the game. In year 15, we were able to finally get our image rating back up to investor rating. While our stock, in another area, our stock prices consistently met and exceeded expectations. In year 17, we were finally able to achieve significant increase over plan due to our forecasting techniques actually competing against the industry leader instead of competing against the industry average. Strategic planning. Our initial strategy was to be a focused differentiation, high-end, low model count, but the space was saturated with competitors. In year 14, we moved to a global best cost approach, competitive strategy, lower quality, higher model count. Competitor analysis, Enigma Shoes. Enigma Shoes had both strengths and weaknesses both in the private label and the wholesale industry for shoe sales. On the private side, their strengths were retail pricing, advertising. On the weaknesses, it was SQ rating and free shipping, where on wholesale their strengths were wholesale pricing, advertising, and retail support. Their weaknesses were SQ rating, rebate offer, and delivery time. Enigma Shoes had consistent strategy throughout the game, low end, high volume. They were the only competitor to support the low end market as a differentiation. While they did struggle with SQ rating, they were able to double our market share in both private and wholesale with lower price points and substantially more advertising. Lessons learned. Throughout the game, we struggled with image rating. Initially, we thought this was due to stockouts in various regions, but realized in year 15 that SQ rating was a key driver to image rating. We also lacked significant and consistent celebrity endorsement throughout the game. We also realized that we were setting our annual forecast based on industry average rather than against the industry leader. If you want to compete with average, you will always be average. Finally, when we changed our competitive strategy, the extreme change to quality negatively impacted our image, which took years to recover and get back to investor expectations.